Welcome. I have Tim Lawrence here with me, the immediate former CEO of Skills USA. Tim, thank you for writing for the COABE Journal. Can you tell us the name of your article and why you wrote that article for our COABE members?
Thank you so much, Sharon. First of all, I want to thank you. It was an honor, a real honor, to be published in the COABE Journal. And I think the article, the title of the article was Workforce Education at the 10,000 foot and 1 foot levels. And it really is about my life experience in career and technical education and that 1 foot face-to-face with the students of all ages, and the 10,000 feet, the adventures I had, which included jumping out of an airplane at a little over 10,000 feet with the Army Golden Knights. So what a great journey through career and technical education, what was once called vocational education, that I had. And I just thought, talking about those experiences with students and with sponsors and with all the aspects of my journey through vocational education, that the readers would gain something about that adventure and that life journey of mine that might relate to their own life and might relate to their situations inside training and education.
Fantastic. Are there any special nuggets that you hope that our readers will take away with them?
Yeah, probably so. It's really about relationships. Everything that we do is about those relationships with others. And as I look back at my journey through this thing we call vocational education, I was an adult learner myself. The first vocational education really started back in 626 BC with Babylonian culture that had an apprenticeship program. And the first federal funding of vocational education in this country was in 1917 through the Smith-Hughes Act. And I look back at my journey. I started as a high school junior at 17 years old in 1967. So looking at 1917 compared to 2020, and that was 103 years ago that this program got started. My involvement of that 103 years of vocational education, what we now call career and technical education, is about 53 years of that 103 years. So I've had a vast number of experiences and opportunities through this system called career and technical education. But as I look at nuggets, I started as a high school junior taking a welding class. I went into manufacturing at a young age, right out of high school, married just a couple years later, a child coming a year and a half after that. And my job was to go to work and support a family. And, I didn't have time at that point to start college. So I deferred that until my goal was there to attend higher education, but I deferred it until I was actually an adult when I had the time and the resources to do it. But as I went through that process, I look back at those mentors, particularly the teachers, the instructors that helped me along the way. And not only the teachers, but the mentors at every place where I worked and every place where I was involved in education. Those special people, make sure that you thank them. Make sure you go back and tell them how much you appreciate what they did for you. My welding instructor, God bless his soul, he's gone now. His name was Joseph Picarelli. He was an old apprenticeship coordinator at the Newport News shipyards in Newport News, Virginia. But his experiences that he taught me and my experience with him, probably more than anyone else other than my parents and grandparents, he was the adult role model that I looked up to as a young man. But moving on to further education and getting involved in getting a degree and getting higher education, I was an adult. And it was tough because I was working, I had a family, I had all those things going on. But now as I look back, and what I hope that your readers will really identify with, is looking at those students that I've worked with from 13 years old in middle school to the last person I remember specifically was a 73-year-old from Arizona, a young lady, 73, who came back to an apprenticeship program or a CTE program to learn welding. She wanted to be a sculptor, and she competed and did extremely well at the national level of competition. So, the diversity that we have in the organization we call Skills USA is the same diversity that we see all across this nation. People of all ages just trying to reach higher and do a little better, but looking at those role models and those mentors along the way is one piece of advice. Looking at the title of the article, the 1 foot level, compared to the 10,000 foot level of workforce education, that 1 foot level was the memory that I have of watching students of all ages come off the big stage with 10 to 15,000 people in the audience cheering for them at Skills USA after they'd won a gold, silver, bronze medal in everything from culinary arts to robotics and technology to carpentry to bricklaying. And just watching those students come backstage to the photo booth, really. They're coming back for their prizes, and they're coming back for their opportunity for a photograph. To high five every student who came off that stage and be right there with them, to see that smile on their face, to see the joy that they were experiencing because they had exceeded in their occupation. They had done well. They'd really displayed excellence. So that opportunity to be close to those students throughout that time, 24 years at the national level, 9 more years at the state level of education, 9 more as a teacher, and 9 more back in industry. It was an incredible journey that put me in touch with so many young people, adults, business partners, CEOs of Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 corporations, and traveling to 23 different countries around the world to experience what education and training look like in those countries as well.
We so appreciate you sharing those experiences and your wisdom and your knowledge based on all those years, 53 years, right? That you said.
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, I'm really looking forward to our readers reading your article. And I want to encourage them all to go to www.coabe.org and click on journal, and you'll see Tim Lawrence's article there. And Tim, thank you so much for being with us here today. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, Sharon, and thanks for all that you and COABE do. You're doing something that's so special and so important in our country. And again, just one final note, as I look back at my journey through education and training, there's so much good happening and so much good that's being done by people like you and people that serve COABE and the adult education market. We're thrilled to be involved with you. We're thrilled to be a part of the work that you're doing. And I'm telling you, every relationship that we've built along the way is so important. From those business partners, I look back at that journey again, and I say, the teachers, the instructors, those mentors are the lifeblood of the organizations, yours and mine. The business partners are really kind of the heartbeat that keeps that lifeblood moving. But the students, the learners, are the body, the student body, but they are the body that blood flows through, and that our mentors and our partners really keep that blood moving and keep those students lifted up. So thanks for all that you do. It's really been a pleasure and an honor to work with you. And thanks for all that COABE is doing for this country.
Oh, thank you, Tim. We have really appreciated the partnership with Skills USA and really enjoyed getting to know you and working alongside you as well. So thank you again for writing for us and for taking part in this interview. We appreciate it.
Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you.